Kind regards, masses. Buonasera. How we doing today? It's me, High Bike, and I am back with some more Radical Dreamers. That last song we were listening to was Il Vento d'Oro from Golden Wind, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Today is Giorno Giovanna's birthday, so that's why I played that theme for pre-stream. It's still my favorite JoJo theme so far, at least like, anime-wise. Or actually, yeah, in general, just I love the piano. Like piano and songs like they get me. And of course, you got your sexy sax in there. It's just everything about that song is just great. If you want to listen to that track, I'll leave a link in chat right here. But how we doing today? Jack, Jacob, and Yo-Yo, what's up? Streamer is still in a dream, Sneeda. But yes, buongiorno, Serge. Yes, it is time. Misto, can't believe you were born on 4 squared. I know. Damn, Giorno's just cursed now. Alright, so let me get the game set up. But, yeah, how we doing? My day was pretty good, not too bad. I had like 3 clients today, but honestly, nothing too bad. I got a free milkshake from my coworker. It was strawberry. But yeah, that was cool. But yeah. Oh, you know what? I also started the Persona 4 Arena manga, and of course they start off with the airplane hijacking, so I had to play appropriate music for that. Thankfully it didn't last for an hour, so I didn't relive the airplane incident. But it was cool. It was funny seeing, the gag with Aigus and Mitsuru, with, like, the terrorists taking, like, Mitsuru's underwear. Well, the theory, at least. I put it in Jackson Anthony's, dungeon, but yeah. You're just chilling and doing some art. Nice, nice. Sounds nice and relaxing. Arena's confirmed better than Ultimax due to that side story. Yeah, man, because Mitsuru Hansu. But yeah, it's pretty great. Plus, Labris. Like, she shows up, but like as a silhouette, but I'm like, hey, it's my girl, my favorite toaster. My favorite ass weapon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this manga started. Also, like, the mangaka draws Naruto really cute. Like, she just looks adorable. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. So last time on Radical Dreamers, we got ending 2, which had to do with Majul confessing his love for Riddle, and then they get married. Or they're engaged, basically. It was funny. So now, I'm gonna go for another ending. Not Chrono Cross, Radical Dreamers. But how we doing today, Milkman? What's up? How we doing? It all began with the Notebook. Blah, blah, blah. Alright. But yeah, Radical Dreamers is basically like the prequel to Chrono Cross, but you'll see characters like Surge, but in this case, he's called Buttercup, and then Kid's there. Riddle's there too. You're doing great. Glad to hear. I'm doing pretty great as well. I'm mostly coughing just because, like, the milkshake I had, or shake, smoothie, it was good. I don't regret it, but it's okay. Oh, also I got some burgers and fries from Checkers for dinner too, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, let's get going. Alright, I watched his kid's braid flicked back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I started feeling very sleepy indeed. I tried and failed to stifle an enormous yawn. So, okay, I'm gonna go for this next ending, where we're not supposed to go to sleep. So I had to try and stay awake. Yeah, the burger was very nice. And the shake too. Very good. Very good day for food for me today. What was wrong with me? I'd nearly fallen asleep. I needed to be more careful. Kid would have crucified me for napping on the job. I gave my head a shake to try to keep the wooziness at bay. What a strange situation this was to find myself in. Being here, now, in this place of all places. It all began not long after I met Kid. Hold on, let me make Giorno a little bigger. so you can fill out the line here. You sure hope no one lies down in the middle of the road in this ending. I know, huh? That would be very unfortunate. I still can't believe Ike did that. Still thinking about those endings from yesterday. Me too. Just like everything about Shadow of Destiny. I really like that game. I really like it. Also, Smug Unculus's faces. They're just too great. Oh, but yeah. I can't wait to see the next endings. I guess it must have been 3 years already since I first met Kid. Back then, I was just a wandering musician, traveling wherever my feet would take me, and wherever a few tunes would pay for a warm bed. It was in the Outlands, in a town called Rajora, where we first ran across one another, and since then she'd dragged me along on a whole bunch of adventures. And misadventures, too. Ah, Kid. She was a thief, and not just any thief. Just a few months shy of 17 and already renowned as one of the realm's greatest. What's more, she was achingly beautiful, stylish, a joy to be around, and a dab hand at campsite cooking, or so she liked to claim. The truth was a little different. Those bandits with hearts of gold you've heard about in stories, the ones who steal from the rich to give to the poor, yeah, that wasn't Kid's style. She was short-tempered, prone to lying, bossy, and obsessed with money. And rarely did she care to listen to a single word anyone said to her. Yeah, joy to be around. But she wasn't all bad. Probably. Maybe. Sometimes. She had her moments anyway. I glanced over my shoulder to see a shadow hovering behind us, blending into the darkness like smoke. Magil. Also known as Magil the Shade. He was Kid's partner, but even after 3 years, I still knew hardly anything about him. I know we've read this before, but, just to kind of give us a refresher. All I knew was that he was around 30 years old, and not much of a talker. But he was one heck of a mage. I heard that he and Kid had started working together way before I met her. He always covered the top half of his face with a mask, and had never seen what he looked like underneath. He was a man so mysterious that it sometimes seemed like he was an interloper from another world. It wasn't like Kid was exactly big on details about her past, but Magil, he might as well not have had one. And Kid didn't seem to know much about her partner in crime either. What kind of man he was, what kind of life he'd lived before. Nothing. You might ask how exactly I wound up being a part of this merry band. Well, it's complicated. Okay, it doesn't matter what I choose here. I guess you could say that life doesn't always turn out the way you think it will. Yeah. I chuckled wryly as I thought back over how Kid and I had met. You got a joke you want to share with us? Oh no, it's nothing. I was just thinking about how strange life can be. You're starting to sound like an old man, Buttercom. Buttercup! Kid grinned impishly over her shoulder at me and pressed on. Hang about. What's that? Kid was straining her eyes to look at something in the trees to our right. There's something shining in there. I tried to see what she was talking about, but all I could make out were trees, overgrowth, and darkness. In other words, nothing out of the ordinary, considering that was all we'd seen so far. You're gonna head out, your phone's almost dead. No, it's okay. I at least appreciate you for dropping by for a bit. So, thank you for tuning into the stream. Yeah, just arriving. But yeah, always appreciate seeing you here. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your night and get a good night's rest. And thank you, I will have a great stream. But yeah, catch you later. Yeah, an old man bought to come. Are you sure? I don't see anything. Yeah, I'm sure. It was bright, whatever it was. Kid's right eye narrowed like a cat's. Just her right eye. Excuse me. You wanna check it out? Magil stood next to Kid and followed her gaze. We're deep in Lord Lynx's territory. I trust you're well aware that one false step could very well be our last. Not saying a word in reply, Kid continued to look deep into the trees of the forest. Do you sense something? His gaze returned to her face. She briefly looked to him, then back to the forest. Very well. If another path awaits us, so be it. Perhaps we'll find something interesting. Without waiting for Magil to finish, Kid darted into the thick overgrowth. as if he'd let go of a string that was holding her back. Wait up, kid! I made to run after her. Be on your guard, Batucom. There is something wicked in the air tonight. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I gave him a quick nod before plunging headlong into the darkness. Much to my surprise, we found it almost immediately. A golden beetle perched on a large tree. There it is! Cried Kid, as she immediately started shimmying up the tree after it. It did have something of a golden sheen to it, I suppose, but I was still impressed that she'd managed to notice it from so far away. She had a keen eye, sure enough, at least when it came to things she wanted to see. I looked up to see how Kid was getting on. Wow, she's fast, I commented aloud. She'd already made it high up into the branches and was about to grab the beetle. Ah! But the moment she reached out her hand, it spread its wings and flew away. Get back here! She reached out further to try to catch it, but lost her balance and fell. Oh, why do they only give us one choice? Oh, there was no need to panic. Kid could handle a fall like that. She spun her body nimbly in midair and landed gracefully on her feet like a cat. Then ran straight off after the beetle, ignoring me and Magil completely. Get back here, you! You're my ticket to riches! We ran into the forest, chasing after what may or may not have been the legendary golden beetle. We hadn't seen it again since it vanished. How was Kid tracking it? Had I asked her, she probably would have just said she was following her nose for treasure. She stopped in her tracks. Had she found it? Taking it back? What? Oh, I need to see that. Kid thumped me over the head. For crying out loud, how old are you, Buttercom? I should have kept my trap shut. Struth, I knew you were thick, but I didn't think you were that thick. Can't you feel that? Something's wrong here. Very wrong. Was it? I took a deep breath. I can smell the forest. Kid gave me a swift kick in the shins. Thanks a bunch, Kid. How was I supposed to know how to sense stuff? Nobody ever taught me. Kid ignored me and turned to the highly conspicuous sunflower that had caught her attention. Ah! I screamed in horror at the sight that greeted me. What the fuck? Oh my god. It's Flowey's uncle. Droopy eyes, not like those of a drunkard. Long purple eyelashes. A large aquiline nose. Thick pink lips. That's not what this thing looks like. The face of a heavily made-up man had materialized in the center of the sunflower's petals. I don't know, Chief. This sunflower right here doesn't look gaudy enough. What a design, right? Oh god, the evolution of the sun boss. Yeah, shit. This was probably supposed to be the sun boss originally. Oh, dear god. Yeah, related to son of a gun. I called to Kid. I tried to figure out what exactly I was looking at. It was no good. I just couldn't bring myself to stare at the thing head on. It was just too fantastically unpleasant. Ugh. The merest glimpse of it turned my stomach. I called to Kid. Yeah, fantastically unpleasant. Kid practically fell over laughing at the sight of it. Not exactly how a normal person would react. I don't know, Surge. I think it's pretty funny. That face will appear in your nightmares. It is creepy. It's creepily hilarious. Okay, I called to Magil then. I guess we're just choosing everything. We have seen something like this before. What was it called? Unperturbed by the strange sight before us, Magil calmly sifted through his memories of magical flora and fauna. He seemed to know what this thing was. It was classic Magil. Not only was he a skilled fighter, but he also had a mind like an encyclopedia. Sadly, looking things up in it always took him forever. How many times have we found ourselves in mortal peril while he sat there pondering? Earthbound flashbacks. Oh god! No! Why does he have to talk like that? Well, 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 and what have we here? A magnificent evening for a stroll, wouldn't you say, fair maiden? The sunflower turned to Kid and spoke. Its speech was as unsettling as its looks. A chill ran down my spine. I ain't your fair maiden, you creepy old lech, spat Kid. He talks like Yosaki Baka. I mean the Yosuke Sasibaka. No, you can't compare them like that. Forgive me, child, forgive me. I was simply struck by the sight of your deliciously slender figure slinking through the trees and felt compelled to greet you. Gross! You can keep your thoughts about me figure to yourself, perv. Of course, my dear, of course. It was clear from his tone that he had no intention of complying. And it was equally clear that Kid was having none of it. Shoulders trembling with irritation, her dagger flashed as she whipped it from her belt. You know what happens to sunflowers that stick the stalks and start shooting their mouths off like dirty old men? They get pruned! It all seemed a bit excessive. I mean, it wasn't like it could have followed us if we just ignored it and walked off. But Kid had made up her mind. The dagger she'd been brandishing flashed from left to right in an instant. You thought the flower would say to Kid, I wasn't talking about you. Yeah, they're talking about me. Or Magil. The sunflower let loose a horrible screech like 1,000 cats all scratching on glass at once. Excuse me. I felt weak at the knees, mom's spaghetti, and for a moment my mind went blank. Goodness me! This will not do at all, fair, slender maiden. Wanton violence ill becomes you. What? Kid had definitely cut the flower's head off, and sure enough, there it lay on the ground. But a new flower had sprung up in its place, and was chattering on as if nothing had happened. Yeah, me right now. Or the flower. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Hardly the behavior of a lady. Once again, Kid lashed out with her dagger, and once again I was brought to my knees by that awful screech. Yikes indeed. This really is outrageous, to think that such a delicate flower could behave so boorishly. No, I'm not repeating that. Kid quickly set about hacking the head off that one, but a new one appeared in its place. And another as soon as she'd sliced that one down too. Another one, another one, another one, another one. Yeah, look at all those flowers. Stop, Kid! This screeching! It's gonna drive me mad! I knew she wouldn't take it well, but I decided to try and stop her myself. That's enough! Stop! I wrapped my arms around her and tried to pull her back, but she barely seemed to hear me, shaking me off and sending me sprawling to the floor. Well, that didn't exactly go to plan. I tried again to stop her like a minnow trying to fight back the tide. Kid! The result was the same. Except that this time she really sent me flying. Have you quite finished, my slender saucepot? You'll only tire yourself out swinging that thing around like a lunatic. Kid's shoulders heaved as she panted, exhausted. She flung the dagger to the ground in frustration. Aha! Now I remember. That's a mandrake monster. Whatever you do, you must not try to cut it down. A bit late for that, huh? And under no circumstances whatsoever should you try to pull it from the ground. Interesting that, like, a mandrake looks like a sunflower here. Magil had finally remembered. And just like always, it was far too late. Yeah! Kid gave an almighty roar as she grabbed at the sunflower stalk and began ripping it from the earth. Kid, please! Oh my god! Okay, no, that was definitely after Magil, like, you know, mentioned the thing. Jeez. The corner of its mouth turned upwards in an unsettling grin. Oh no, I'm scared. And then the ground around its roots began to heave and crack. Kid! There was a crashing all around us as the trees collapsed, and before I realized it, Kid had vanished into a crevice in the lurching earth. Debris and fallen trees blocked my view as the world closed in around me. But at the last moment, I felt a tug on my arm, and I was plucked from the jaws of disaster. Magil? He was soaring through the air with me under his arm. Pull yourself together. We need to get out of here. But what about Kid? One thing at a time. Magil landed at the edge of the dome-like cloud of dust and soil that had erupted. I stood there and called Kid's name, or I jumped... Let's jump headlong into the cloud. The moment Magil let go, I made to jump into the dust cloud, but his heavy hand clamped down on my shoulder. Now is not the time for hasty action. The dust is too thick to see anything at all, let alone pick out Kid. Wait until it settles. He was right. I wouldn't be able to find her in all that dust, especially in a state of panic. I had to keep my cool. What the? Once the cloud had begun to dissipate, I saw a single massive silhouette. Oh my god, what was it? Whatever it was, it hadn't been there a few moments earlier. And then the air cleared, and the moonlight cut through the darkness, revealing... Oh no, did she get socked into it? Yo, okay, but that flower design's kind of hardcore. I kind of like it. Kid! I could only scream her name at what I saw. It was a colossal monster, 7 or 8 times my size. A hulking beast, covered in exposed muscle and ivy, with hands and feet that resembled the sharp pincers of a crustacean. Around its neck was a golden scarf of sunflower petals, but instead of a head, it had. Yeah, now that's a Final Fantasy boss design, for real, for real. How we doing today, Lozo? What's up? Yeah, I prefer this over the face, too. The face was really weird. Ahem. Mind where you're looking, Batucom. What? In the heat of the moment, I had no idea what Magil was getting at. Oh, that's Magil. And then I finally made sense of what I was seeing. The monster had no head. Instead, there was a sunflower from which the top half of Kid's body was protruding. And she was as good as naked. You're doing alright? You got a haircut? Hey, nice. Always nice to get a fresh cut. Well, not entirely naked. Her chest was covered with 2 small sunflowers. Excuse me. Oh, is that what those are? I just thought it was like a bra kind of thing. Magil broke me free from the horror. If we don't help her fast, the creature created by her rage will consume her. She will die. She'll... die? I felt my heart twist inside me. I asked Magil how we could help her. What should we do? How do we save her? The more I thought about the possibility of Kid dying, the more I panicked. Calm down, my saucer-eyed friend. There is a way. Kid is enthralled to her rage, and it is that which binds her to the monster. To free her, we must free her from her anger. And how do we do that? Simple. Simple. With love. Ooh. Love? Yes, love. It's the only way. I will begin the preparations. In the meantime, you must protect her and make her feel your love. Oh, and don't let her cast too many spells. You're not sure why, but this is giving you original Nier vibes. I'm not sure why either. I've never played them. What? Kid can't use magic. She can now. It was a straightforward answer, but it didn't exactly explain much. Good luck, Batucom, and remember, show her your love, commanded Magil without the slightest hint of embarrassment before vanishing into the shadows. Wait! Don't leave me alone here! Magil! I shouted and shouted, but it was too late. He was gone. I was all alone. Love. The word echoed in my mind, and with it, a faint sense of embarrassment. How was I even supposed to make her feel my love? As I stood there pondering, I heard a murmuring overhead. Deliciously slender, you saying, oh, blah, blah, blah. How many times I ain't little? Everybody else is just too bloody big, that's all. Start gyrating your hips. Take the mick out of me, huh? How dare you? How bloody dare you? I'll kill you. I'll kill you all. Alright, time to gyrate those hips. Fire blazed in her eyes as Kid let out an almighty howl, and then her gaze locked with mine. Without saying another word, her beastly lower half... I ran. I ran so far away. Perfect music timing, right? I fled from where I was standing, only just escaping the gigantic blow. It smashed into the ground. The impact roiled and crashed around me, and dust and soil rained down. I stopped. It's me, Kid! It's about to come! I shouted my name at her, but the furious flames in her eyes refused to subside. The earth shook as the monster took a step toward me. I was in danger. I had to get out of there. What the heck is that? A group of 3 goblin guards appeared behind the monster. They must have come running when they heard the noise. Oh. And what the heck's it doing with a human stuck in the middle of it? Kid's jaw tightened grimly. She spun around and... Nugazol! Fireball! Cried Kid. Oh no! She was casting spells! Magel's warning echoed in my mind. Kid's massive fireball incinerated the 3 goblins, instantly turning them to ash! I looked at Kid and ran a hand down my chest. I had no idea what was going on, but I was glad that she didn't seem to be hurt. But that spell... I've seen Magel throw the odd fireball, but never one so massive. What's more, she let it fly like it was the most natural thing in the world. While I was still trying to process what I'd seen, I yelled, "I love you!" Make her feel your love. That's what Magel had said. I still wasn't sure what the best course of action was, so I decided to do the first thing that came to mind. I love you! I yelled it as loud as I could. I didn't have time to be embarrassed. Suddenly, a shadow eclipsed the moonlight. Wait! In a panic, I jumped away. The next moment, her foot crashed down where I'd been standing only a second earlier. I fled, plunging blindly back through the forest. Behind me, I could hear the sounds of trees splintering and cracking as the monster charged after me, pounding the earth with its mighty feet. Who puts their manor in a place like this? And who grows monster sunflowers in their stupid death forest? I yelled at no one in particular. Just as I was beginning to lose steam, I saw the trees start to thin. The edge of the forest was in sight. But was I really going to be any safer there? I soon had my answer. I emerged from the trees to see a squad of goblin guards arrayed around a cannon that must have been about 4 times as big as me. I guess it made sense for them to come out in force when there was a raging monster on their doorstep, but that cannon was definitely not going to make life easier. Oi, you! Yes, you, the human boy! The goblins clearly weren't happy to see me. I ran away. No, inspiration struck and I ran over to them. Maybe they can help me. Already out of breath, I used the last of my strength to run over to the goblins, then fell to my knees. Before me stood the goblin captain, wearing a spiked helmet and a suit of armor emblazoned with Lynx's coat of arms. I looked up. He was glaring down at me with his beady little eyes, and he seemed like he might be about to brain me with the mace he carried. I felt uneasy about what I was doing, but it was my only chance. I had to do this if I didn't want to get my skull caved in. Please, help me! We were in the forest trying to catch a golden beetle and a monster attacked us and took my friend. I tried to help her, but there was nothing I could do. Please, I'm begging you, help my friend. She's the most important person in the world to me. I begged for mercy, putting on the saddest face I could muster. The goblin captain's eyes softened. Is that right? So this monster's got your friend, has it? All right, boy, say no more. We'll help her, just you see.
Help me! Oh my god!
Thank you. Just goes to show that you really can't tell with goblins. And what a relief it was to know they weren't going to fire that gigantic cannon of theirs. Or so I thought. Uh-huh. A golden beetle, you say? Another treasure for my dearest kid to go chasing after, is it? How lovely. Your merry crew would be laughing all the way to the bank if you could bag one of those. That voice. What did he say? Kid? That street rat thief? Oh no. It had all been going so well. But who was this who had just ruined everything? Yeah, who was that? From behind the goblin captain, a phantasmagoric light appeared, bathing our surroundings in vivid colors and patterns. And then a figure emerged, hair rising from its head like a column of green smoke. It wore a purple cape over a suit with red and green stripes, like some kind of stage magician. And then I saw its face. What? It's you! The sunflower! Who are you calling sunflower, boy? The stupid plant was playing dumb. I was just about ready to... But then I realized that wasn't it. This was definitely a human. So, why did his face look just like the sunflowers? Oh, that's creepy. As I stood there dazed, I was suddenly pinned down by 2 goblin guards. Ahem. I don't believe we've had the pleasure. You, of course, are an accomplice of Kids. I, on the other hand, am Prune. Not familiar? Known to some as the green-haired horror, feared throughout the land? Still not ringing any bells? How am I supposed to keep track of every freak that hangs around here? I snapped back at him, my frustration getting the better of me. Freak! How dare you call me such a thing? I am a performer, an artiste, and you quite clearly are a Philistine. Oh, spare me the theatrics, I screamed inwardly. He may not have been the sunflower, but he was every bit as irritating. No matter. I will teach you to know me. I shall rock your heart with the most turgid, trenchant fear you have ever known. And when I have done so, you will never be able to forget me. This guy looks like he belongs in Hylix. He does, doesn't he? Yes, when I kill Kid, you will know true terror. A fear that can only be matched by the horror of farting in the bath and seeing the bubbles come floating inexorably toward your face. You're no match for Kid. It was out of my mouth before I could stop myself. But it was true. With Kid in her current state, he wouldn't stand a chance. You're absolutely right, my dear boy. I don't know where exactly she pulled that little trick from, but with Monster Kid on the prowl, I've certainly got my work cut out for me. That's oddly specific. Yeah, the fart bubbles. Yeah, I bet it happened to him. However, Prune thrust a finger toward the giant cannon. I have the hyper magic cannon on my side. Never mind her feeble frazzle blasts. A single fireball from this old girl will be more than enough to erase her from existence. He beamed with pride. Hyper magic? I'd never heard of such a thing. I just thought it was a massive gun. But now that I actually looked at it properly, I saw that the barrel was made up of a series of colorful spheres, and there was no visible fuse. Instead, numerous cables sprawled like ivy down its sides, connected to a pedestal in which was embedded a crystal ball. Captain, it's coming! The goblin guard's cry felt like a death sentence. All right, Maestro, if you could do the honors with the cannon. The captain beckoned Prune over. Stop! You've got to stop! I struggled, trying to free myself from the grip of the goblin guards, but they were too strong. Pain shot up my arms, and my eyes welled up with tears. Alas, much as I've been enjoying our little chat, I'm afraid that business must come before pleasure. Shall we pick up where we left off in a little while? Ah, but perhaps you can help with something first. What shall I say to Kid before I let her have it? I'm begging you, stop this. I had no strength left and I couldn't use magic either. All I could do was beg. Oh, the humanity! You really do care for her, don't you? Such a pity. Prune pulled a handkerchief from his suit pocket and dabbed theatrically at his eyes. Such high drama. Very well, this calls for a suitably momentous farewell. Ah, how does this grab you? See you in hell, sweet cheeks! Hey, that's Yosuke's name for me. Grinning with mad gusto, Prune skipped over to the pedestal connected to the cannon. Stop! 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 My agonized screams echoed around us like those of a dying man. I thought I glimpsed a shadow of doubt crossing the goblin captain's eyes, but Prune was completely unmoved. He placed his hands on the crystal ball. Gentlemen, start your engines! Oh, that's a funky sound. Zoom, Nazina, Zeber! Or wait, Zol, fly, my pretty fireball! See you in hell, sweet cheeks! The cannon shone with vivid light, then belched out a tremendous fireball. The flaming sphere raced toward Kid just as she emerged from the trees. It was a direct hit. The flames from the explosion engulfed everything around her, and I was blasted by a searing hot wind. Feel that mighty wind! Kid! I have done it! I have done it! I've finally slain that beastly little wretch! Oh, it's been so long. You know, I remember the last time she came here and all the trouble she put me through. But now there's nothing to worry about anymore. Oh no! All I could hear was Prune's cackling laughter. Kid. I grabbed at the ground and pulled up fistfuls of earth. I was devastated. Devastated and achingly frustrated that I hadn't been able to do anything. Captain! Cries of horror came from a number of the goblin guards all at once. A gigantic figure was staggering out of the raging flames. Oh, it's the funky music from Lynx's battle. I'm glad we get to hear this again. Kid? The monster emerged from the fire unscathed, and there she was on top of it, alive and well. I put my hand in my chest and breathed a ragged sigh of relief. Of course, a spell-slinging dandy like that hadn't been able to do Kid in, but it was too early to start celebrating. Why didn't it work? Prune ran toward me with an enraged look of disbelief in his eyes. His smug grin was gone, and beads of sweat trickled down from his temples. Okay, sweaty. Why and how? What wild magics does that little wretch command? Ever so sorry, old boy. Trade secret. In a moment of spite, I answered back in his own annoying tone. Prune's face turned red as a beetroot. Ah, you petulant little... I'll make you spit it out. He picked me up by the collar and shook me. And then... Ah! A keening scream pierced the night like the howl of a wolf. A cold chill ran down my spine. It was Kid, but not Kid. The flames vanished in an instant, leaving a silent blanket of fear to settle over proceedings. Oh, ye dead and rotting, ye denizens of the dark. As grandiose as the spell sounded, it was still Kid's voice. No! No! Where in heavens did a lowly street urchin learn a spell like that? Moments before, Prune's face had been incandescent with apoplectic rage. Now it was white as a sheet. He hurriedly muttered a few words under his breath, and then... Goodbye for now, my loves! He flashed across the sky in an instant was gone. He really said, Nigerunda yo! Their trump card lost, the goblins panicked. Back into the manor! Back! Now! Shrieked the goblin captain. The other goblins dropped everything they were carrying and fled inside. I stood there alone on the grass, surrounded by discarded swords and maces. What was I going to do now? I called for Magil? Yeah. Guide my hand, O rage and envy. Gather unto me and become as a myriad of black prayers. I was stuck. I had no one to turn to, and there was nothing I could do about Kid. Because while Magil had told me what I needed to do, I had no idea how to do it. If I didn't do something fast, though, she'd complete the cataclysmic spell she was clearly getting closer and closer to finishing. I really needed a hand. Magil, if you can hear me, I'm begging you. Help! Sorry to keep you waiting. Kept you waiting, huh? I turned toward the voice. Magil! The moment I laid eyes on him, I was stunned. I need your help! Oh, cool. The cool music's back. His right shoulder was exposed, revealing his sinewy physique. The rest of him was draped in a set of sparkling silver robes. He looked like a monk from some exotic temple. On top of that, a ring of pure light hovered at his back, seemingly suspended in the air. Don't tell me you left me on my own all this time so you could go and change outfits! For a moment, I completely forgot everything and demanded an answer to the question that was first and foremost in my mind at that moment. Magil went completely silent. And then, pondering, he turned his gaze toward Kit. It does seem as though things have got out of hand, I must admit. I balled my hands into fists, then unclenched them. Now was the time to worry about Kit, not Magil's newfound insouciance? I haven't seen that word. How am I supposed to make her feel my love? Wait, we must leave this place first. He grabbed me by the hand, muttered a brief incantation, and off we flew. The ground disappeared from beneath us, and then we stopped in midair. I looked over the manor below. Alchemist, the fallen, heed my call and grant me your power. A pale blue light coalesced around the monster and pooled in Kid's hands. Bring death to all that lives. Destroy all that exists. Veil all light in your shadow. Phantom, break! What's happening? A pallid wave of energy surged forth, and 1,000 maddened cries howled out as it raced across the ground, devouring everything in its path. All things once blessed by the light were consumed by the spell's evil, and the entire manor melted away into the shadows like thawing ice. Oh shit. Shit! There goes the manor! Like a monstrous snake, the vile energies rioted and thrashed as they consumed the land, pulling all that they touched into the black depths beneath. I was stunned by what I had just witnessed. If it weren't for Magil, I couldn't bear to think about it. A massive crevice was all that was left of the manor. It seemed so deep that at that moment, I thought it must reach all the way down to hell itself. I scanned the surroundings for Kid, and then caught sight of her near the precipice. But she was too far away for me to be able to tell if she was alright. It seems she was able to withstand the effects of the incantation, but she must surely be reaching the limits of her endurance. Magil's words echoed in my ears. A surge of panic and fear welled up in my heart. Magil, what's gonna happen to Kid? Just shut up for a minute, you irritating brat. My mind went blank. I'd never heard Magil snap like that before. Oh shit. That seems to have calmed you down a little. Good. I paused for a moment, and then I realized... excuse me. Then I realized that I was feeling a good deal less frantic. But surely there was a nicer way to pull me back from the edge. Now why don't we begin by giving you your own spell of flight? Magil muttered another short incantation, then let me go. My body felt light as I floated in front of him. Envision where you want to go, and your body will take you there. I practiced a few short movements in the air. Now give me your knife. I pulled my dagger from my belt and handed it over. Magil took a white jewel from his robes and held it close to the knife. He uttered yet another incantation, and it vanished into the handle. Then he returned it to me. As I told you before, Kid and the monster's body are joined by rage. There can be no saving her as long as that link remains in place. As I also told you, you must make her feel your love in order to break the link. But how? How am I supposed to do that? I pressed him for an answer, my frustration rising again. With a kiss. It's usually the most effective way, he announced dryly. Ooh! I tensed for a moment, then relaxed. If that was the only way, then... Surge, you have to fuck the monster. It's the best way. Oh, of course. Yeah, oh, that's what you meant. I have to give her my love. Okay, I got you, Magel. Why didn't you tell me that sooner? I slapped Magel on the back of his head. I love that the fight music is playing. His golden mask slipped and fell into the abyss of night. It was the first time I'd ever hit him. His silvery hair fluttered in the moonlight, and two pale blue eyes gazed back at me. Oh my god, he's hot! It was also the first time I'd seen his face. Oh my god. For a man, he was staggeringly beautiful. It wasn't a feminine beauty. No, it was harder edged in a way I couldn't explain. Well, I guess Serge is gonna give Magel his love now. But it was beauty nonetheless. True beauty. I stared at him, lost in reverie, and then he lifted his hand and brought it crashing down on my head in an almighty chopping motion. Damn, Rip. Are you listening? The pain brought me back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. I understood. Now wasn't the time to be bewitched by my ally's preternaturally good looks. I had to concentrate, on what he was telling me. Excuse me. If we allow Kid to recite that spell one more time, she will be forever lost to us. So get down there and kiss her. Excuse me. And if you find yourself unable to do that, then stab her with your knife before she can finish the incantation. They're flying, so you think gravity already went. Good point. The jewel I embedded in it is enchanted with the power to absorb souls, while possibly a rather brutal means of saving her, it is our only other option. I thought about what he had just told me, so I had two choices. Kissing her was the best option, but could I really just go and do that? But if I didn't kiss her... Magel spoke again, interrupting my panicked ponderings. I will begin preparations for the rite. During this time, I will not be able to help you. What? I thought Magel would be coming along to look out for me. But no. I was going to have to go and face Kid on my own. Alright, I'll do it. I'll go and save her. That's the spirit, Buttercup. Hold on to that determination. You will need it. I felt Magel's stunning blue eyes staring into my soul. And then I found myself lost in those beautiful pools of light. He's falling for him! Now go. Show me the power of love. I felt my body overwhelmed by Magel's most powerful of spells. My cheeks grew hot! Ooh, blushy! No, I had to focus. Kid! I needed to think about Kid! Yes, the confidence to go down there and do what needed to be done. The bravery to stand firm in the face of adversity. I was filled with determination. Absolute determination to save her. Yeah, ooh la la! I don't know, sir. Stick with... Buttercup. Is there like a Magel ending for this? Magel gave me a magnificent grin, and I descended from the sky. Go to her. Oh, there we go. I flew through the air, rushing toward her. She must have noticed me because she looked up. Her face was crisscrossed with angry red marks. The monstrous claws of her lower half reached up to snatch me from the air. I dodged just before they struck and flew up an arm, straight toward Kid. Her lips moved as she began casting the spell. Hold on. Oh, I can't save. Alright, fine. I rushed as fast as I could to cover her mouth. I've got to stop her before it's too late. I raced through the air, my right hand in front of me, and clamped it over her mouth just moments before it was too late. Damn it. Alright, well, I went straight in for the kiss. Do it! I moved my hand to her cheek and went in for the kiss, but she cut me off with her right hand and started pushing my face back. I tried to pull her hand away and keep going. The next instant, a throbbing pain crashed through my right eye and I recoiled. Ouch! I felt something warm on my cheek. A shock ran through my body. I was trapped and couldn't move. The creature had caught me in its monstrous hand. I was pulled closer to Kid's face. She chuckled for a moment and then burst into full-blown hysterics. Red liquid was dribbling from her mouth. Unperturbed, she lifted her hand to my brow. She was starting to cast the spell again. A cold horror ran through my body. Kid, no more spells! I screamed desperately for Kid to stop. There was no change in Kid's expression. Her eyes swiveled this way and that, mad and unblinking. A light began to glow on the palm of her hand, and she let loose a crimson owl. Hot blood spattered my cheeks. Kid! I screamed with all my might, and then a ray of light shot down from above. It severed the monstrous arm, freeing me from its clutches. Batacom, now! I pressed my lips to Kid's. Heeding the voice's command, I leaned forward, pressed my hand to her cheek and my lips to hers. Are they gonna draw it? Or do they have sprite work for it? Ooh! Holy powers or come back, Kid. I thought. I concentrated on that thought only. Well done, Batacom. Now hold on tight and leave the rest to me. I opened my eyes. Yeah, wow, so hot! Kid's face was still right there in front of me, and it looked like the kiss must have worked. But her gaze was vacant, and her body was limp. Fearful for her well-being, I held onto her tightly, just as Magil had instructed. He meanwhile was up above us, floating there with his arms crossed, the full moon at his back. He looked like an imposing golden statue. Suddenly, the clouds beneath his feet parted, and he began falling to the ground, as if gravity's pull had finally caught up with him. Kid looking up at Surge like this. Oh, the fucking snake balloon. Very sexy. The moon calls to me. My lady calls to me. Slay the demon, she cries. Suffused with lunar might I strike. By her command this impurity to smite. Reap my foes, almighty crescent. Excuse me. The ring on Magil's back glowed with an even more brilliant light as he raised his foot high over his head. And then, his heel flashed like blinding moonlight as it plummeted down to our kid. Dramatic pause. Demon slaying heel of her lunar majesty! Huge, glowing cracks appeared in the body of the monster, running down from Kid's torso. Her body collapsed into my arms as the spell was broken, and then a powerful light erupted from deep inside the creature, spreading throughout its hulking mass before pulling inward as it imploded, taking the monster with it. That was a pretty cool looking statue, yeah. You thought it said huge glowing cocks? Joker, please. All that remained was a small mote of light, which rose up into the sky and vanished. Kid drifted into unconsciousness in my arms. Her skin had regained its normal rosy complexion, and the greenish tint was no more. You'll be okay now, I whispered to her. Kid, I'm never pulling flowers again. Yeah, PSA, never pull on flowers. Be at ease. She will come to once her spirit settles. Oh, and cover her with this before she wakes. I fear we might find ourselves in a rather prickly situation otherwise. Magil offered me a silver cape. He was right. If we left her naked, she'd have her guts for garters. Oh shit. I quickly snatched the cape from Magil's hand and wrapped it around her body. Yeah, she naked. You were racing a motorcycle game and they had a no pulling flowers sign? Oh shit. Damn. It was destiny. It was fate. She was back with us. My heart pounded as I watched her face. She was starting to open her eyes. Hi, kid. My voice shook as I spoke. But to come? Madge? She looked around groggily, as if waking from a dream. And then, a short moment after our joyful reunion, oh no. You bastard saw me naked, didn't you? I felt a dull thud, and then pain echoed through my head as if I'd been struck by a hammer. What the hell, kid? You only just woke up. I looked over to Magil, who seemed to have made a timely exit. Ah, that jerk had left me alone. At that moment, I wished bitterly that I too could sink into the shadows. Kid looked at me, trying her best to focus. But to come, you even kissed me, didn't you? I realized I was good as dead. Oh god, really? How did she even remember that? She fixed me with a gaze that was unsettlingly reminiscent of the sunflower monster. God, the music playing too. I can't lie. I saw everything. And yes, I did kiss you. I'm gonna own up to it. I could do nothing but confess my sins and hope for mercy. Kid seized me by the collar. I knew it! I bloody well knew it! She began to slap me back and forth across the face with her free hand. You bastard! No one's ever seen me naked before, and no one's ever kissed me before neither! You bastard! You are a bastard! How bloody dare you! She kept slapping me as she screamed, and I couldn't tell if she was angry or just upset. Everything. And then she stopped. She's finally finished, I thought. Maybe this will all blow over in a few years. And then I realized why she stopped. You posted the sign pics in the High Biker Discord? Okay, let me see. Oh yeah! Yeah, they do have no pulling flower signs. Well, I like those faces better than the sunflower that we got. Don't you dare look, you scumbag! She screamed, threatening to pierce my eardrums. Her fist smashed into my jaw. Actually, wait, do you want me to share the pictures? But yeah, weird faces indeed. Imagine if those flowers, like if the flowers in that game actually had like the same creepy faces. You just realized when the sunflower slowly rose up, it was like OVA Vanilla Ice. Oh my god, that's true. I don't know, it's something about things just kind of like, you know, moving slowly on a screen to appear. It's so funny. How did she get naked? So when she pulled on the sunflower, she fused with it and became that monstrous thing that we saw. And she just got naked because of that. I think flowers just kind of grew from her boobs. And then, you know, once we kissed her, she turned back to normal, and, you know, she didn't keep her clothes. Yeah, like she got absorbed by the sunflower magic. Don't you dare look, you scumbag! She screamed, threatening to pierce my eardrums. Her fist smashed into my jaw. My body was briefly airborne before crashing to the ground. She rushed to pick up the fallen cape and cover herself again. Just then, something rolled along the ground toward her feet. Those black and white stripes. It was clearly a sunflower seed, but it was as big as a fist. Damn, that's a huge-ass seed. Oh no. Seeing this only poured more fuel on the flames of her wrath. She flew into a blind rage, screaming every obscenity known to man as she jumped and stamped on the seed. And then she grabbed it and hurled it into the air with all her might. Yeet! Nugazina! Fireball! A blast of flame shot from her hands. Oh shit, she gets to keep her magic. It hurtled into the sunflower seed, engulfing it in a blazing inferno. What the? How is she still using magic? I thought to myself. I struggled to focus as the enormity of everything that had just happened finally caught up with me. And then my mind went blank and I slumped back to the floor. Kid. Magil appeared behind her as if he'd suddenly risen up from her shadow on the ground. Magil, she hissed. There you are. She turned around, and her face was alive with a sunflower-like fury. Oh no, please, not again. Her eyes burned with rage as she stared at him. Wait, you have to listen to me. Nugazina. Kid ignored Magil's pleading as she started casting another spell. Excuse me, that's sunflower seed. Well, that's sunflower seed. It was worth 1 billion G! Fire! Ball! At that moment, Kid's face twisted into an expression of... I don't know what. Yeah, that's Kid right now. How we doing today, Experimenter? What's up? But when her shoulders slumped and she trudged away sadly, I had an idea of what she must have been feeling. That said, I couldn't believe that horrible sunflower seed could have been worth so much, nor could I imagine who would buy it. I asked Magil why Kid was suddenly able to use magic. Excuse me. He told me that it was a side effect of the sunflower's powerful curse, and apparently she'd always had a latent talent for spellcraft. Imagine if this was the first story path I got. That would be weird. No, but it wouldn't be possible. You can only get that one ending. The first ending that we got. And then from there you're able to get other endings. But it would have been funny if it did just randomly get this. Don't be sad, Kid. Come on. Now you can use magic. Won't that make things easier for us on our next big heist? I clapped a friendly hand on her shoulder. She slowly turned to face me. Tears were streaming from her eyes. Oh. I sighed. It was clearly going to be a while before she was herself again. Oh, okay. And so ends another tale. Perhaps one day I'll see Kid, Magil, and Prune again. One day, somewhere, at another time, in another world. Perhaps none of us will even realize it. But that's a story for another day. For now, I must put down my pen. Wait, so did Prune appear in Chrono Cross in any way? Well, that was fun. I closed my grandfather's diary, and then from downstairs I heard my mother calling. Did you hear me? Your friend's here! Yeah, the story was just a weird side story. No frozen flame here. Nimble footsteps charged up the stairs. The door flew open. In tumbled a young girl. A girl who seemed somehow familiar. Hey, Buttercombe! It's a beautiful day for adventuring. I found a run-down old manor off in the woods to the north. You want to go exploring? Come on, put the book down and let's get out of there. Or let's get out there. GG's 10 out of 10. Yeah, not bad. Well, that was interesting, yeah. Interesting little thing with that sunflower mandrake. I did mean to save, before the kiss, though. But, because it says here, there's 3 different endings or variations for this ending, and so I guess I got stabbed by Kid because we had the option to kiss Kid, stab Kid, or be stabbed by Kid. So I guess that's the one we got. Rotro, your friend is here. Watch her still be fused with the sunflower IRL. God, that'd be creepy. Okay, I don't think we could skip the ending. But hey, at least we get to see the cool sprite work again. Well, okay. I do kind of want to see, the other variations of the ending, though. It is pretty long, though. But I'm sure I can, fast forward through. Oh, the Space Dandy episode I was watching today, it was funny, because, oh yeah, Joseph Joestar's, old Joseph Joestar's voice actor, rest his soul, he voices, this space gorilla called, Dr. Gel, or is it Gel? Well, anyways, he's supposed to be hunting Dandy and the crew, but mostly just Dandy, but they always fail every time, they never actually, Dandy never actually, sees them, but they see him. But anyways, his assistant built this record player on the ship, kind of DJ scratching kind of style records, and he's like, we can play music on the ship now, but for some reason it has to fire missiles, the ship has to fire missiles every time they use it, so they end up they end up blowing themselves up somehow when they first use it. I don't know, it was pretty funny. But yeah, Space Dandy just... Oh, the episode was kind of sad though, because like they had like... They like found this dog and apparently it was from Earth and like just... It was like launched like, I don't know, into like through many galaxies and like she was all alone. And she spent her last moments playing catch with Dandy. And like he had a translator and like he was able to like hear what she was thinking and then like she was like at the end she was like, "Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that my last moments could be with you. This was fun." You know, something like that. And then she like goes to sleep forever and I'm like, "Damn, dude. They really hit me with that. Give me a sad dog story." Alright, that's that. So I want to see what happens when we stab Kid, but we're going to be fast forwarding quite a bit. At least we'll be able to choose like other options. Like for the other non-important story things. Oh. So it looks like I have to... Oh, damn. I do like that music box theme. I was thinking, I do want to have all of them, like, saved on there. So, if I continue... Because I know we've seen... Maybe what I'm gonna do, I'll do the Magil love story thingy on my own time, just so I can, like, get all the endings, like, filled out on the list. So I guess I have to do continue here. Let me see. I'm still gonna be bought to come, though, because it's funny. But yeah, I want to see what happens if we, like, stab Kid. Yeah, an ending is unlocked by getting all the others, yeah. From what I'm understanding. Or, let me see, hold on, let me double check on that. Because I think, let me see. Oh, actually, you know what? I think the case was you get a secret ending if you finish, like, if you finish the Chrono Cross thing? Hold on. I really have to double check on that. Let me see right now. And this is the more recent version of this. Secret Ending Radical Dreamers Remaster Exclusive. Beat Chrono Cross and Radical... Oh! Okay, beat Chrono Cross and Radical Dreamers regardless of ending. Then select credits at the game selection menu. Watch till the end without skipping. Skipping the credits will have you miss the secret ending scene entirely. Entirely. Oh, okay. So, this secret ending, I believe... Wait. I never skipped, though. I don't know if... Wait, how to get the secret ending scene? Let me see. You must first beat Chrono Cross as well as its partner text-based adventure Radical Dreamers. Okay. Well, either way, I guess I'll just... Let me just keep this same save file so, like, we can get the whole list filled out. Alright. Let me see. I think it should still give us the option to sleep here. Oh yeah, there's the braid. Yeah, okay, so let me see. And if I have options to say other things for like the non-important choices, I'll choose like another thing so we can get different results. God, I still can't get over Magil. He was so beautiful. Alright, let me say... I guess you could say that some days it shines and some days it rains. Even if today is one of the rainy days, the sun has to show its face sooner or later. Right, kid? Totally. I might be stuck thieving today, but one day I'll be stinking rich, and then I can... Yeah, nice. Oh no, not the sun! Not the son of a gun! Kid started muttering gleefully to herself. She's got the wrong end of the stick. Money isn't everything. You say something, Buttercon? Nothing. Good. Keep it that way. She marched off in a huff. Hey, don't walk so fast, kid. I hurried forlornly after her. Hang about, what's that? Okay, so there's this. And I'm still gonna follow her. Yeah, check it out. So, is there like a golden beetle ending? They catch the golden beetle and they get stinking rich? Oh, well, you know what? At least we get to see the the sunflower pop up all creepily again. Or, did you find it? Nah, same color, but this ain't our beetle. I peered over her shoulder as I caught up. It was a sunflower? The tall, slender bloom stood alone in what looked like a little patch of sunlight. No one would have taken a big, bright, cheerful flower like that for anything but a sunflower. But what was it doing looking so lively in the dead of night? It's a sunflower, but what's it doing here? Struth! I knew you were thick, but I didn't think you were that thick. Can't you feel that? Excuse me. Something's wrong here. Very wrong. Was it? I tried my hardest to sense what she was talking about. Well, you feel anything? Yeah, my forehead hurts. I'm not bloody surprised. Who told you screwing your eyebrows into a knot like that would help you with anything? Kid thumped me on the head. Gee, thanks, kid. How was I supposed to know how to sense stuff? Nobody ever taught me, blah, blah, blah. Oh, here it comes. Oh, man. Alright, blah, blah, blah. And then we get to see the weird lip movements. You know what? At least the lip flaps here are still better than Persona 4 Arena's lip flaps. Alright, blah blah blah. I decided to ask Magil to try and stop her. There was no point in pretending I could outmuscle Kid on my own. I was going to have to count on Magil for help. I turned to call him over, and saw him standing stock still like a statue, his arms folded in concentration. Not even the shrieking of the sunflower could shake him out of whatever train of thought he was lost in. It seemed almost as if he couldn't even hear it. His mask might have been facing Kid and the sunflower, but the eyes beneath it were focused on nothing at all. It was clear that all his attention was turned inward, and he was utterly lost in his thoughts. Alright, and then we see this before. Kid, please. Okay, I'm gonna make a separate save right down here. Oh, the rats represent how many endings you've got. I see now. Okay. I stood there and called Kid's name. Kid? Kid? Kid! I screamed her name into the dust cloud. I wanted to rush in to help her, but there was no way I'd be able to see anything in there. I'd only be putting myself in danger. I waited for the dust to settle, holding back the nerves as best as I could. What the? Oh, right. We've seen this. We've seen that. I stared at Kid. Her face was expressionless, and her eyes were hollow, gazing at nothing at all. Her upper body was naked except for a couple of dainty sunflowers covering her chest. Her lower body was buried deep inside the monster's scarf of sunflower petals, making it impossible to see where Kid ended and the creature began. Her skin had changed color to a grassy green. What am I doing? Something told me I'd get into trouble later on if I kept staring. But I couldn't help it. I took another look. Oh, what? Oh, okay. They weren't kidding. It's the same thing. Alright. I asked Magil how to save her. What should we do? How do we save her? Oh, wait. Yeah, we've seen that. Imagine she has a sunflower covering her booty hole. I wouldn't be surprised. One on her coochie too. No, I'm gonna run, because I'm probably gonna die even if I take that blow. introduced. Okay, well, I don't... Well, yeah, this part isn't important. I made a tactical retreat. He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. I needed to get out of there. I fled, plunging blindly back through the forest. Behind me, I could hear the sounds of trees splintering and cracking as the monster charged after me, pounding the earth with its mighty feet. Oh, wait, we've seen this. Because it's time for... Eduardo. Wait, what? I don't know why I said Eduardo. Let's see. What if I run away, actually? What was I thinking? How could I run away? If I didn't deal with that cannon soon, they'd fire it at Kid when she showed up. Already out of breath, I used the last of my strength to run over to the goblins, then fell to my knees. Before me stood the goblin captain, wearing a spiked helmet, blah blah blah, we've seen this. Okay, so he really can't just run. Actually, here, let me save here. Help me. And then I saw her face. I'm a believer. I glared back at him. Ugh. Just looking at him was enough to make me queasy. Oh, I like that little callback to the sunflower. Okay, and then he says the same thing. Oh, I don't care what happens to me. Just don't hurt Kid. The words poured out as I begged pitifully. Your sympathies for the girl are truly delicious. Unfortunately for you, I'm being paid well for my services, and I mean to follow the terms of my contract to the letter. I'm afraid I'm going to have to let you down. Diddums. Prune held his hands behind his back and rocked gently on his heels with his head held low in a theatrical show of condolence. And it's coming! It's about to come! Adieu, my slender saucepot. Oh, that's simply splendid. Very well. That is what I shall say when I fire the cannon. Who would have thought that it would be your idea, though? She really must have put you through the ringer. Grinning with mad gusto, Prune skipped over to the pedestal connected to the cannon. And we've heard that. I'm not gonna scream that again. He really does say, adieu, my slender saucepot here. Damn, that guide wasn't kidding. This really is pretty long. Still gotta get to the part with Majel looking all beautiful. I wonder what the name of this track is, because it's slapping. I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you, I answered spitefully. Prune's face turned red as a beetroot. Ah! Oh, wait, read that too. Let's see. What if I made a run for it? Oh, no. Didn't matter. I was alone, I had no way to stop Kid, and I was in a whole lot of trouble. Oh, never mind. Guess I'll run for my life, I thought, and turned to flee toward the mansion. But I was stopped by a heavy hand on my shoulder. And what will become of Kid if even you desert her? That voice. It was the one person I needed the most. I turned around. Magil! The moment I laid eyes on him, I was stunned. Okay, here, I'll save again. Madge, you need to tell me what to do. Well, I had my questions about the outfit. It really wasn't the time to ask. What's that spell she's casting? And how do we stop it? What you told me doesn't make any sense. All the questions and confusion that had been building up inside of me spilled out at once. How am I supposed to make her feel my love? Blah, blah, blah. I want a whole lot of love. Cool sounds. The manor disappears. Hurry, I'm about to come. Oh, I'm about to blow. I'm about to explode. Or I guess it already exploded. When is it? When does he pull that mask off? Oh, since we just got the enchanted dagger, I'm gonna save here. Oh! Mask off. Wait, that's that song, right? With a kiss. How about a kiss for luck? Excuse me. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. But he's so hot. Okay, here. I will save right here. This seems like a good place to save. I don't know if I can do this alone. Buttercum! Suddenly I was grabbed by the collar. Do you really think you will be of any help to her with that pathetic attitude? You can save her. I believe in you. Have faith in yourself. Magil was scolding me. But was this what they called tough love? No. Tough encouragement. And I needed it. I mean, he was right. There were things he had to do, and there were things I had to do. Things that only I could do. It had to be me, or there was no saving Kid. Filled with newfound confidence, I let go of Magil's hand. That's the spirit, Buttercum. Hold on to that determination. You will need it. I felt Magil's stunning blue eyes staring into my soul. And then I found myself lost in those beautiful pools of light. Ooh, oh, Buttercum. Okay, no, this is where I'll save. That's fine. The power of love. Alright, here we go. Now this time I'm gonna stab her. I readied my knife. I hesitated for a moment, then reached for my knife. I used the knife. Once I thought the unthinkable, there was no going back. I pulled out the knife, my hand shaking with fear. I couldn't bear to lose her. A surge of fear welled up inside me. I looked into Kid's eyes and knew that I couldn't possibly kiss her, but I didn't want to lose her. Fear and panic drove me to grab the knife. The blade connected with her hand and hot, red blood dripped down it. A surge of fear. And then the white orb embedded in the knife began to glow. Kid covered her face with both hands and began to writhe in pain. Kid! I held her tight as she suffered the enchanted knife's effects. Kid! 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 I screamed her name over and over again, but she didn't answer me. She only moaned in pain. I'm about to glow! I immediately regretted what I'd done, and then I began to pray. Lord knows I'm about to smash. Please, I beg of you, if there's anyone up there, please, you have to help Kid. Kid went limp in my arms. It seemed my prayers had done something at least. Kid, I whispered softly. There was no reply. Fearfully, I held my hand above her mouth. She wasn't breathing. I couldn't feel her heartbeat either. Roro. Kid! I screamed her name, holding her tight. Having lost its head, the monster split into pieces and crumbled to the ground. I wept uncontrollably, holding Kid's lifeless body close. About to come, she is not dead. Her soul lives on within the gem. Yeah, me when Kid goes into the knife, the knife gem. I looked at the knife. The white gem embedded in the hilt was still there. But how could Kid be inside it when I was still holding her in my arms? Either way, being told that her soul was inside the jewel, inside the jewel, did nothing to stem the flow of my tears. I held her tighter and continued to cry. Suddenly, Magil forcefully pulled her out of my arms. What are you doing? Pull yourself together. You decided you were going to save her, didn't you? And now is the time for action, not weeping and wailing. You still have work to do. Magil's sudden rebuke echoed through the still air. I stood there, completely dumbfounded. The flesh is merely a vessel, not much different from the clothes you wear. To put it simply, if we can find new clothes for her soul, then she will live again, said Magil, more gently this time. What do you mean exactly? I asked Magil what the hell he was talking about. It seems you've got your nerve back. Very well, I will tell you. I mean to find Kid a new body. What? You mean Kid's got another body somewhere? I blurted out. If you allow me to finish... I do not mean another body of her own. I was thinking of an ancient magical technique, the creation of demonoids. I knew that all kinds of ancient magical techniques existed, but I'd never heard of any that could be used to transplant souls. I couldn't quite believe what I was hearing. Is that really possible? The air around Magil suddenly changed, and his mask was plunged into shadow. Oh, more than possible. And there are so many options to choose from. Dragonoids, wolfoids, beetloids, deviloids, lizardoids, freakazoids, demonoids. What are the freakazoids? But the list of frightening sounding possibilities went on, and my heart felt heavier with every word. If we just dumped her soul into some kind of monster, there was no doubt that I'd be her first victim. I know, right, freakazoids? We had to find a cute demonoid for Kid, if only to slightly improve my chances of survival. The world's a big place, I thought. There had to be one somewhere. Impoids, Hequinoids, Lavosoids. Oh my god, really? Really? You could choose whichever you wish. I recommend a Lavosoid body. They are the most powerful. Alright, Magil. Enough already. Oh, okay. Well, there's, there it is. That's the other version of this ending. Forger Lloyds. Can I skip? Can I skip? Oh, excuse me. Oh, Buttercup. Oh. Man, I really can't skip there. They're like, ooh, look at these kids that you can't really see. Look at this foaming rain. Wait, you're right, Kid ain't there. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh shit. Damn, dude, that's... Wow. Well, GG's. Okay. So, let me go back to that one save file. And, so I believe I got that option where I get stabbed by kids. So I think what I have to do is pull back during that one time I try to kiss her. And then after that I need to sleep because I was like falling asleep. I was tired. Show me the power of love. Excuse me. Okay, so kisses. Kisses! Russian, raised through the air, my right hand in front of me. Clamped it over her mouth just moments before it was too late. I said a few words and then kissed her. Kid, I never thought our first kiss would happen like the... Before I could plant my lips on hers, her hands had wrapped around my throat. I, kicked her in the... Oh, shit. Kid tightened her merciless grip around my throat even further. If she squeezed any tighter, I was going to die for sure. I kicked her in the face. I didn't feel good about doing so, but I gave her a merciless kick to the chops. She flinched, loosening her grip and allowing me to slip around behind her. I pulled back for a moment, but before I had a moment to think about what to do, I moved in closer to Kid. There was no point hanging back. I tried to move in, head on for the kiss. I shoved Kid's arm aside and moved in closer to her face. Clonk. Our foreheads banged together. For a moment, everything went dark. Oh my god, no way. I felt something being removed from my belt. And then there was a flash of light. I dodged the blow, and I dodged the blow! No! Uh-oh. Or is this the stabby? It all happened in an instant. The knife hanging from my belt was in Kid's hands, and then it was sticking out of my chest. Oh, I think that's what I meant by getting stabbed by her. If you haven't bonked foreheads before, you will. Oh, yeah. Big oof. It didn't hurt. My chest burned, but my heart felt cold. Kid. The warmth of my feelings for her was consumed by the merciless frost that took hold of my heart. Okay, so I think what we originally got was kissing her. This is just us getting stabbed. Excuse me. No! The gem embedded in the hilt of the knife began to glow. My mind suddenly awoke from the haze that had fallen over me into a state of perfect clarity. I reached for Kid's face. I put a hand to her cheek, then pressed my lips against hers. Oh, okay. I'll trade my life for hers. Please save Kid, I prayed. I think this is what... This is the... Oh, yeah. Get stabbed by her. I prayed with all my heart and soul. Oh. Uh-huh. The brown leaves of the trees scattered and buried the ground beneath. There was a hut in the mountains that surrounded the forest. It was built by a man from a nearby village, but he only used it when he was out chopping wood. He was at home that evening and the hut was empty. The door of the hut opened from the inside, and a man with a heavy frame stepped out. He walked down the stairs and along a narrow path. He was clearly not from the village. His black garments gave him away, but it was the mask he wore that was the most obvious sign. Inside the hut was a girl. She lay curled up under a blanket, her back to the door. The girl wasn't sleeping. Her, excuse me, her shoulders were shaking gently. Kid was crying. Oh, she wept, clutching a knife with a white gem embedded in its hilt. Majel told me everything that had happened. Batukam. Batukam sacrificed himself to save me. Now all that's left of him is his soul, trapped inside of the gem. Batukam. Oh. Maj said that gems like these were used in ancient times to give life to demonoids, artificial life forms created using magic. If we can find the demonoid, we'll be able to use the gem to bring Batukam back. Majel and me need to get out there and find one. But for now, I just want to cry. All I can do is cry. Majel didn't tell her how Batukam's soul ended up in the gem, but Kid knew. She remembered. Oof. And she remembered what his final thoughts were, too. I'll trade my life for hers. Please, save Kid. Oh, hey, Chuck. You came in right at the end. Well, right at the end of one of the endings. But yeah, after this, I'm gonna sleep. But I appreciate you dropping by, though. Oh, so how's this gonna play out? Since, you know, we're stuck in a gem. And so ends another tale. Perhaps one day I'll see Kid. Oh, okay, it's the same thing. And it's still gonna have the other kid. I don't know how he's writing this. Yeah, I don't know either. I'm just as stumped. So, I wonder, if Kid was gone in that other version of the ending, what if Surge is gone? Or, I mean, Batukam, oh! You were busy tonight, you checked out Palmu's 3D debut, watched the Final Fantasy 16 PAX East VOD, and also the State of Play for Final Fantasy 16 that came out recently. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool, you got to check those out. The hype is real. Alright, well, that's that. Yeah, okay, so Surge is gone now. Okay, so interesting. So, I'll make sure to do the Majel ending again on my own in that third save file. So, that's 3 out of 7 that we got so far. But okay, I think it's interesting that there's like 3 versions of this ending here. Very interesting story with this flower. So yeah, again, PSA, do not start pulling at flowers with weird looking faces on them. Or else you might have to start showing your love or like stab whoever. We didn't get to see Kid naked though. It's okay. At least we got that in the first version. At least Majel got to see her naked. But yeah, I'm just curious. Like, I'm always curious to see all these different endings. It's always so interesting having like games with different endings. So many possibilities. Watch Surge get run over by a car by lying down in the middle of the road. Next ending. I'll never get over that. Yes, the radical... we technically unlocked one more ending, but this ending in particular has like 3 different versions and we unlocked all of them. So I wanted to like play that out, just kind of see all those options. You missed the funky looking sunflower though. What do you think it would have been like if you knew in advance how to get the good ending of Chrono Cross? Well, I don't know. I think that ruins the fun of like, you know, going in blind. That's why I like to go in games blind, because I like to be surprised. Like, especially with like games that have multiple endings, I like to surprise myself to see whatever ending I get naturally. But on the other hand, you know, we definitely would have gotten closure, at least. But it's alright. It's fine. At least I went back to, like, watch what happens. The ending I did get ruined the fun even more. That's the fun of it! By ruining the fun. It's like, it's just like a roulette, kind of. Like, you still get surprised. Even though the surprise wasn't the best surprise, it's still a surprise nonetheless. And that's what I think matters. But, anyways. I'll end here. Oh yeah, we're almost at 2-hour runtime anyways. But yeah, I'm gonna end here because I was falling asleep. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. As always, I appreciate you guys hanging around. And if you're just watching, I'm always glad to be entertainment. So, later today, I think we're going to be playing Digital Devil Saga. Let me just double check on that. Oh, I'm seeing on my feed, Kojima's been posting, like, pictures and videos of him at Disneyland, so I'm like, damn, Kojima's just living his best life out here. I love to see it. He got In-N-Out, like, the other day, too, and I'm like, good for you, Kojima, but now I am craving In-N-Out. But it's okay, I got my own burgers from Checkers. That's still good enough for me. Their burgers are pretty good. So yeah, Digital Devil Saga later today. Oh, Anthony was here. Hi, what's up? Well, I'm leaving now, so good night. Alright, well, matane, my dudes, I hope you have a lovely rest of your night, or day, wherever you may be. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one, and peace out.